In the late 1980s, Martin Bregman, who used to be Al Pacino's manager and who produced him in Serpico, Dog Day Afternoon, Scarface and Sea of Love, optioned two crime novels, Carlito's Way and After Hours. The book's author was Edwin Torres, a hardline New York Supreme Court judge, notorious for saying to one convicted man, "Your parole lawyer isn't born yet." Brian De Palma, who had discovered De Niro and who made Carrie, Dressed to Kill, Scarface and The Untouchables, was to direct. David Koepp, who went on to pen the B-movie scripts for Jurassic Park, Mission Impossible and The Lost World, adapted the books into a single long script. Marlon Brando apparently agreed to play a part, and Al Pacino signed on in the lead. It took 4 years before Carlito's Way finally came to the screen in 1993, minus Brando, but with a great performance from Sean Penn, who had said he would act no more, but who took the part to raise the money for this film, The Crossing Guard. In the interim, De Palma had had a mega flop with Bonfire of the Vanities, but Pacino had got the Oscar for Scent of a Woman. The film got very mixed reviews. The Washington Post called it a complete nothing. It took only $37 million in the US. It's much less showy than some of De Palma's films. 3 years after Scorsese's Goodfellas, its character portrait of an ex-crack trafficker trying to go straight feels almost naive and has little plot.
You're gonna rent cars?
What are you laughing at?
You're gonna rent cars?
That's right. I know a lot about cars. I've been stealing them since I was 14.
But there are real plus points, I think. The pace and the way Pacino narrates from the beginning and the way he talks about fate and says, "The street is watching, she is watching all the time," has an almost literal out-of-body effect. Pacino says he's sick with the social ills of the ghetto, a line you'd expect from a judge like the one who wrote the original novels.
And look at me. Completely rehabilitated, reinvigorated, reassimilated, and finally going to be relocated. And I want to thank a lot of people for that. I look over there and I see that man there, Mr. Norwalk. I want to thank you, sir, for making the tapes in an illegal fashion. I would like to thank the Court of Appeals for reversing you, Your Honor. And I want to thank Almighty God, without whom no case gets tossed.
I can't believe this.
The ending of the film, with its 2-minute Steadicam takes made up of dozens of camera positions, is more like the showy old De Palma we know and sort of love. Although it's a big surprise to hear that he wanted this ending to take place in the World Trade Center. I can't say why it's a surprise because that'll give too much away, but once you've watched the film, think what a knock-on effect for the story a World Trade Center location would have had. The downside of Carlito's Way for me is that it's too like Godfather 3 and its set pieces are too like The Untouchables. Then there's De Palma's usual woman as distant angel routine, complete with sloppy music every time we see her, either plinky-plonky piano or Joe Cocker warbling, "You are so beautiful."
You are so beautiful.
What is it about De Palma and music and De Palma and women? Scorsese and Paul Schrader can look at women from afar without being cheap, but De Palma is always almost cliched here, I think. The greatest film about a drug dealer trying to reform is, for me, Paul Schrader's Light Sleeper. And in a film set in the 70s, you don't expect a character to order Diet Coke, which didn't appear until the 80s. But Carlito's Way was an unexpected change of direction for De Palma after the off-its-head Raising Cain. It's quietly intense, I think, and Sean Penn is just wonderful.